Hello again, YouTube. This is The Truth Man, giving you the truth. I'm gonna have a couple videos today. I didn't make any videos yesterday, but I'm gonna have a couple videos today. And this video I would entitle Ranking What a Man's Priority Should Be in 2022. Now, I use this phrase all the time. Like, we not Fred Flintstone, like we not George Jetson. Like, that's not how life really is. That's not how these women in most marriages really are. And so priorities have kind of changed as the world has changed. Like the soap opera name, As the World Turns. The world turns, the world revolves, the world rotates. And so we have to rotate with it. And so I ranked what a man's priority should be in 2022. Now, I already know a lot of guys ain't gonna agree with me, but I'm gonna explain, if you will, why I rank in such ways. The first priority that men should have in 2022, the number one ranked priority should be the Most High, should be God. The Most High can literally bring pain upon you. He can bring suffering on you. And sometimes he does. Like, maybe for your own good, sometimes so you'll learn some lesson. And sometimes it just be his judgment coming upon people when their life ends because they didn't do the necessary. They didn't have their priorities in order. If you read the Bible, you'll see that practically 80% of the Bible, to sum it up, is about having your priorities in order. Even the first commandment, you shall have no other gods before me. So the Most High agrees with me that he should be number one. And that's just all it is to it. And if he's not, watch out. You know, it's up to you. He's not going to make himself number one. You have to make him number one. And listen, he don't always do things the way you want him to do. But if you really honest and you really fair about it, he does things the way you want him and need him to do more than anybody else, including your wife. There's no comparison between the Most High and any person that I know or have ever known. There's no comparison. Nobody's on his level. Even with the bad, even with the times where I was practically mad at him for stuff, there's still no comparison. He's number one. He's always going to be number one. Number two is yourself. Here's why. A lot of people won't agree with this, but here's why. Kids grow up. Kids cause problems. Kids have problems. You see, kids sometimes in divorce situations, sometimes in marriage situations, kids sometimes side with their mothers like she's freaking innocent or something because they don't always know the detail. You ever notice how a lot of women, when they don't be doing right, they'll practically try to swear you to secrecy? They'll try to swear you to secrecy. They won't want you to listen to this kind of talk, to engage in this kind of talk, or to talk this kind of talk. Then yourself, like, you got to work out. Like, a lot of women wouldn't even like you. Some guys can't even go to the gym because their wives are too jealous and too insecure. But they'll say you are. They'll say you are. When you go to the gym, you don't try to get with nobody. They go to the gym, they all up in people's face. But it's you, though. Oh, I don't think you should go to these gyms. You can work out at home. But then if they go to the gym, things happen. And then they don't listen. Do not, remember, you are number two. Do not let these women cry their way out of their sins. If she start crying after she do something, you should start yelling. Oh, no, don't try to cry. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm done with you. If she mess with a dude, that's it. She done broke your house up. And make sure that you tell your kids the truth about it, because your kids sometimes You weren't there for me. You weren't there for me. So to be there for you, he had to stay with a witch, with a cheater, with a hoe in some cases. Any wife that cheats on her husband is a hoe. You're not classy. Classy is out the window. If you lit a dude, like even when you in a text messaging stage, if he show you any pictures of his anatomy, if he say anything sexual to you, and you laugh, or you like it, or any of that, you a hoe. You are in the pre-stages of being a hoe. I'm tired of saying 304. These guys be using the P word, all type of stuff. It's only fair that I can use a word like that. That's just what you are. Like you have to go through a long process to give up them gut. To have some sex with somebody, you have to go through some hoops and loops. And that's why I ain't gonna keep saying it. You're a 304. You're 304. And this is why you should be second behind God. Because when you get married, you can be as hopeful and optimistic as you want. Especially when you get married young. Right around at 35, 36, that's when stuff starts to like spiral. Sometimes it do long before that. But for a lot of them, the better ones, I would say, not perfect, but the better one, it sometimes takes a little longer before stuff starts to spiral. And you start seeing how selfish people is. Where it'd be something that they should do that they don't do because they're selfish. Like they come up with this, well, you should have did this, you should have did that. And sometimes you probably should have. But okay, I didn't. So where do you come in? Selfish. Grabbing stuff. Selfish. And that's why you should be number 2. Kids, like I say, kids, every now and then you have some kids that grow up and they start acting disrespectful towards their father. And it's sometimes it's subtle. But if you like an intuitive person, you will notice like that they starting to be a little disrespectful. Like their tone of voice, their body language, their behavior. You start noticing it. They're starting to be a little more disrespectful. And that's why you should come over them. Because it happens very often. I tell a story about a guy I knew in Texas that he was getting into it with his father, he said. His father and his mother was having a hard time. They weren't getting along. He was getting into it with his father, and he said he was starting like not to like him, so on and so forth. And he said, as he started getting older and started knowing a little more, he said he noticed that sometimes his mother was an S starter. And guess what? He was 19 living with his dad. He was a Latino. That's my little guy right there, man. I hate that I came back here and it was relationships like that. He was a friend. And he was living with his father when I left. His father was, with the Trump stuff. His father was like possibly on the brink of losing his citizenship. And he said he got to make $10,000 to help his father get his citizenship. He went from not liking his father, resenting his father, to, as he got older and was more fair in his thinking, he saw that his mother was part of the problem, if not the problem. I think women think that once you marry them and have kids, that you just, no matter what they do and say, you just supposed to just give them their way. Let them be like kings, like they got a nutsack, and go along. Happy wife, happy life. I think that might be one of the biggest lies in history. In fact, most of the time, when you see the wife happy, the husband is probably miserable. He's probably not getting none. He's probably not like doing in the field that he wants to be in the business he wants to be in. Something is lacking with the husband in most cases when the wife is that happy. You rarely find women that's that selfless. Like I always say, Eve, no woman will ever be greater than Eve, and look what she did. Look what she did. No woman will ever be greater than Eve, and look what she did. So you, number 2. Number 3, kids, real wives / good wives, because you know they ain't gonna be perfect, but if they are highly accurate in the qualities that they supposed to have, then they would be in the number 3 slot. They would. Like, they would be number 3 along with kids. But remember, you come over this, so your kids start going to jail. You don't, once they get to the point where they don't listen to you, you done tried to tell them how they should be and how they should think. And then they start getting in trouble. After a while, you're supposed to put yourself in front of them and just be like, hey man, I tried to help you. I tried to show you. I tried to show you how you should think and how you should do this, how you should do that. You ain't listen to me. So now you just got to deal with it. Sometimes you have to take that approach. Like, you've never just completely shun them. You be there for them a little without enablement. You always got to somewhat be there for your kid. But if your kids is rockheads, you got to let them like have a space, figure it out. You got to be strong to the point where if you tell, let's say your son or your daughter grows up and is depressed and all that, and you telling them the whole way, hey man, this is how you supposed to be, this, that. After a while, you can't. If a person is depressed, don't listen to you, then after a while, you just got to let them find their own way. You have to strengthen your own heart and mind that if you care about that person and they do something dumb, you'll be able to keep going because you tried to help them. That's what you got to realize. You tried to help them. They didn't listen to you. And they lost some type of battle. That's why you got to be over them. And 4th, your career. Your career. I don't think that you should put your work in front of your kids. Like, you should make your money, but you got to find a way to make your money and not put your work in front of your kid. Now, some people, they can't help but do it because of what the field they in. You got to find a way to do it. You got to find a way to do it. But I will put my career, in some cases, this ain't like relevant. Like, your wife is good. If she's a loyal woman, if she's a righteous, classy woman, in your presence and outside of your presence, not flirtatious, not none of that, not slutty, we'll just say it, then yeah, she should be in front of your career. But girlfriends, no. In fact, I would agree with all the guys on YouTube that say you shouldn't have no live-in girlfriend. Because all the things she did to make you want to have some type of commitment with her, in most cases, all of that's gonna stop. This video getting kind of long, but I'm gonna sum it up in a few minutes. Long for some of you. That's when it's gonna stop in most cases. And what what's gonna start? Arguments, antagonizing, nitpicking, pettiness, trying to get under your skin, trying to make you jealous. Any woman that's trying to make you jealous, and we're gonna have a video about that. Characteristics that your wife or your girlfriend will show you to show you that she's not really the one for you. The one that's gonna help you get over the top. How many guys, if we honest, are being brought down by the women that they're with in some way? It's a lot of them out there. Some guys are not being brought down by the woman they're with. Some stuff is self-inflicted, but some of them are. Like, I know y'all heard about the music. He was in music somehow, and he got a major scholarship that would have put him over the top, that would have got him the work that he needed to become a millionaire, and his girlfriend threw it away. And he's suing his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, because she really messed up his life by doing that. Because she was being selfish. She knew he would have had to go away. She was being selfish. So yeah, careers in front of all girlfriends. I ain't trying to hear it. Like and I would tell you this. I would tell guys this. Do not get in 2022. Do not get in long distance relationships with these girls. Well, I gotta go. I gotta answer this call. This is The Truth, man. Thanks for watching.